All right. It is 8 a.m. and I am here with tip on this Tuesdays. Again, I decided to do this tip on this Tuesday just because I remember, I don't know, maybe a year or so ago, I started with some tips on Instagram. And then I would send them out to my email list. And then I stopped. Because you know how just after a while you you get busy doing what you're doing to live your life and grow your business and tend to your customers and your clients. And so I just kind of stopped. But then as I relaunched my Elevate Her program under my nonprofit organization, I felt that Tuesdays were just kind of those good days for me to just tap in with my mentees and just share some insight, life and business tips, et cetera, et cetera. And so since I had already started the whole tip on this Tuesday, which I like the name, tip on this Tuesday, I was like, okay, I'm just going to keep it consistent, right? It's going to keep it consistent. And so I did. And so in doing so, I created this weekly, meet up via Zoom where I would come on video sometimes or just share audio like I am this morning, and just give some insight and tips on life and business and just things that people can literally like just take with them on their journey as they pursue whatever excellence or whatever impact it is that they are on their journey to pursue. Me, I just like to be a part of that, especially with people that are very close to me and people that I see that are hungry and have this strong desire and willingness and determination to want to win in life. Because a lot of people can say they want to do something, but their actions speak differently. And I'm the type of person where, just like any mentor, I can see and can tell those people who are really serious by the way that they execute, by the number or the less frequent their excuses are, or if they have an excuse, how quickly they're able to overcome that excuse, and also their language, because a lot of times we self-sabotage ourselves in many ways because I didn't want to get up this morning because you may be able to hear in my voice that I have a cold. And last night, before I went to bed, I was fine. But of course, I slept with the fan on because that's just what I do. I got the fan going. I got the AC on because I like to be cold when I'm sleeping. So of course, I woke up very stuffy. I feel better. I feel a lot better. But now my nose is all stuffed up, right? So when I woke up, I was like, oh, I am not about to go in here in this office and do this tip on this Tuesday because I'm not feeling well. And then I said, no, right? Then I said, no, I'm determined to fulfill my purpose in this world. I'm determined to make an impact in those people, those of you that are here this morning, early this morning, that are showing up for yourselves. I'm determined to do that. This is my purpose. So let me get up with my stuffy voice and all and do what I am committed to do to fulfill my legacy and to fulfill my purpose. And so, as I was saying, you can tell by people's actions, right? By their actions, whether those be negative or positive, if they will actually become everything that they desire and want to be and were put on this earth to be. So in that, with the tip on this Tuesdays with my mentees, those that showed up every Tuesday, I swear to you, I poured so much more into them because they were showing up for themselves. They were showing me that they were, number one, appreciative of what I was giving, my time, my value, my love, my support, all of that. They were showing the appreciation, but not even that. They were showing that it was also valuable to them and suggested that I come and do this as on a public platform, for anybody who felt they wanted a pick me up or some extra tips or some extra guidance because we all need it. I know I do. I know I show up. I know I show up on. I do a monthly mastermind. I'm a part of a monthly mastermind with some very high level level executives and entrepreneurs. When I say high level, I mean billionaire status, multi-millionaire status, very high level. These people are in stocks, they own islands, they own co-owners of NFL football teams, like literally, like this is the level of value that I am so blessed to be able to sit in monthly. I haven't missed a month yet. But these particular masterminds, I guess they call them meetups. I call them a mastermind. They go on all day long. You can hop on and hop in, hop on, hop in, and comment. And, they have different, they open up the Zoom, panelists, depending on, who committed for that particular day. Other than that, everyone else is just listening, and commenting and just being part of this greatness and learning. And these people are just pouring into each other, giving tips and solutions and resources and guidance and support. And this is not, Black people primarily. I would say maybe 3% of us that show up are of melanated people. It's mainly Europeans, Caucasians, that are there to love on, support, and encourage, And so I felt like I wanted to create something similar, but I show up because I too need tips on Tuesdays. I too need to be poured into. I don't need empowerment. That's something I don't need. I know me, right? I know me. I am at a point, I've always been here where I don't necessarily need to be empowered, but I do need strategy. I do need resources. I do need guidance. I do need to learn more what I don't know, right? I need to be around people who know way more than me, who have experienced way more than me. And I need to be in those healthy, loving, supportive environments so that I can continue to show up in excellence for myself, my family, and my clients. So today, as I'm sitting here all stuffy, I wanted to share. I read a quote right before. I never know what I'm going to share until the night before, with my tip on this Tuesday. It's been like this for the last over 2 months, right? I don't know until whatever drops in my spirit, I feel, is what I'm going to share. And sometimes it's personal, it's life stuff, but most of the time it is business. And so as I was scrolling before I finally went to bed last night, I saw a post or something someone shared about Tony Robbins when he said the quality of your life determines the quality of your questions. And I thought that was so powerful. The quality of your life determines the quality of your questions. And I thought that was so powerful because when I think about my own life, when I was a student, when I was in high school and middle school, I was always determined to sit in the front. Whenever I go to a conference, I want to be VIP so I can be in the front. I don't care, you guys, if anyone has ever sat with me in a mastermind or a big old huge conference or whatever workshop, I always ask a question. I always got if I'm in front of some powerful people, I'm asking a question. Number one, I want to be seen. I want to be able to stand up in front of everybody, say my name, who I am, and how I serve people. I want to be able to do that. And I also want to be able to get a solution to a problem that I'm having because I wouldn't be at this particular place if I didn't have a challenge. And so so I'm always asking questions, and I realize that's why I'm highly intelligent, why I have such a high IQ, why I have a lot of knowledge about things, why I'm very resourceful, and why I have a pretty cool quality life, right? Why I have a pretty cool quality life because of the questions that I ask. And so throughout my journey of growing and coming into who I am today and who I'm growing into later, I've been able to be in some great rooms. One room I just mentioned just now previously was, sitting in this virtual mastermind with, very bright minds all across the globe and having access to these people, but also a lot of my very close friends and colleagues that I won't name, but that I have access to pick up the phone and text or call or, have lunch with when I'm in their city or, meet up with them when they're here in Atlanta or, whatever, invite to my, masterminds and, that I host for people like you all. And I've been able to ask some pretty quality questions. So I just want to share a few of those questions that came up for me last night and the answers that I received. And hopefully you'll find some value in them. But at the end of the day, and I share this with you guys, my mentees, and I'm speaking to my mentees, always ask me questions. Always ask questions like you, and I said this in my book, Become a High Value Brand. Be curious, right? I wrote a whole chapter on just being curious, right? Being curious can really lead to prosperity, to wealth, to abundance. If you agree, put in the chat, I agree, right? Being curious, because when we were children, that's what we are. Like a lot of times I see parents punishing their children for exploring. They're exploring, they're trying to figure things out. Like I even as a parent, and don't worry, I'm going to jump into these questions, but I, as a parent, had to be a little more mindful of my own child when he's acting out, when he's doing things that I feel as wrong. I have to really kind of look at it like, no, hold on. He's coming into himself. He's supposed to, go against the grain. He's supposed to ask questions. He's supposed to wonder why he has to do these things. There's nothing wrong. He's not being disrespectful. He's coming into his curious, explorative nature, which is what he's supposed to do. And that's why he's going to be successful, because he doesn't just take what's given to him and just go ahead and just live life just because someone, told me to do this, just because I don't care if it's my mama. I have questions, and I love that about children. And it's not just my son. I know y'all children, y'all nieces and nephews too, right? It's not just my child. Children are very explorative. They're very curious, but that's how you learn. So I always tell you in my book, be curious. Be constantly curious. That's how successful people win. So one of the questions that I have from one of my mentors is his net worth is over 400 million. And so I asked him, why do you still work? Because if I had a net worth of 450 million, I would sit down. There would be no more work. You talking about retirement, there would be no more work for me. I'd be good. I would say, okay, mama, I made it. I made it, right? And so I asked him this question, and his answer was really profound. And he said that he loves what he does. He loves what he does, and he wants to make sure that he leaves the highest or the huge, I think it was the hugest impact that he can make, right? He wants to make sure of it, right? It was all about legacy at this point for him. And it was also about being in a place and in a position of loving what you do. And then I turned that around, was like, yeah, when you love what you do, that's why his net worth is 400 million. Because when I thought about his journey and how he accumulated the 400 plus million worth, which is a lot of money, we got to stop acting like $1 million, 2 million is not a lot of money, because everybody out here talking about 7-figure this and 7-figure that, right? When you look at the median family household income, especially for us as Africans in the United States of America, it's very low. And I don't mean to laugh, but everybody ain't out here winning. Okay, everybody is not out here winning. So $1 million 500,000 is a lot of money in where we are, but 400 million, he accumulated that because he is doing what he absolutely loves. So that was always a reminder for me to, yes, opportunities will come our way, right? We'll have opportunities to make money doing this and maybe make some money doing this and doing this as a side hustle. But do you love it? Right? Is it purposeful? Right? It's so important. So another question I asked one of my mentors, because I think that it's always important for you to ask questions that pertain to you and not always about just their life, even though people love talking about themselves. Naturally, we love talking about ourselves, but I always like to make sure that I'm gearing the questions towards me. So I always ask things like, what would you like for me to know about making money, like me specifically, what you know about me and where I am in my journey, right? Because of course with your mentors you're building and growing this trusting relationships. There's constant communication. That's a real mentor mentee relationship, which is why I did this tip on this Tuesday with my mentees, because I wanted to keep our relationship a two-way street and open with dialogue. So I asked one of my mentors, what would you like for me to know about making money? And of course, what we hear all the time is that you have to invest it wisely and create a budget, or that money that you're making will be going faster than you've made it. And this is huge because I see this a lot. I literally just had one of my former clients come back for a short-term VIP day. It was like a half VIP day. And she was only in town for a little while. And, before she came, I was looking through her finances to see, what's going on. And she was wasting, a lot of thousands of dollars per month on things that she had just been used to paying, as an entrepreneur, like a bill. It's just a bill, just like our cable bill. We're used to paying it, but sometimes we forget that we signed up on a special program. And after that 12-month or 24-month special, you go back up to the regular price, right? And so you just keep paying the bill because maybe you have your bills on auto pay or whatever. You just keep paying it because that's the bill. And so as entrepreneurs, we get stuck in that rut as well. And so she was paying a lot of these things. She was being overcharged for a lot of things. She had subscription services that she did not cancel. Just a lot of stuff was happening. And so when I hear, my mentor talk about investing wisely and budgeting wisely, because that as quick as that money comes, especially for someone like me who used to hustle in the streets, where hustling in the street is fast money, right? It's really fast. It's so fast where it doesn't even seem like it's real money, right? It doesn't even seem real because it's coming in so fast and you're just dishing it out so fast. You literally can. It happens all the time. We look at people stories we read in the news about people who win the lottery and how fast that money goes, right? Because we don't have this money management mindset. And this is one of the very important things that I'm going to be teaching. And of course, have someone coming in as well who's more of an expert than I am, because I can only teach on my experience, but I have an expert coming in as well who helps people with money, managing their entrepreneurial money, because it comes in spurts. We can have good months, slow months, fast weeks, slow weeks, and so we have to really become masters of our money. And so that's what I got from that, really budgeting and then being very intentional about where and how we're spending the money that we're making. Like, how are we investing it? Making sure that we're investing it in the right tools, the right resources, the right opportunities, right? The right partnerships, right? In our business, so that it can continue to grow. So once I heard that from him, I really took things, and all my mentors are men. For me, I tend to have stronger relationships with men. I don't have nothing against women, because I love my Black women. I love my women, period. I don't care what nationality you are. I got love for us. But I tend to gravitate more towards the masculine energy, that male energy, because I have a lot of male energy within me. I'm not very emotional. I don't, I mean, I'm very feminine, don't get it twisted. I'm very ladylike, very classy, but when it comes to most things, I don't know, I just gravitate more towards that male energy. Most of my friends are men. And so my mentors are men as well. And so when I got that from him, it made me really look into where and how I was investing. So I want you to do that. Do a weekly or a monthly, or at least at the bare minimum, a quarterly look at your money. Hopefully, I pray that you have some sort of accounting system set up, whether that be one of those brown books you get from Staples, like my husband has, which is a bookkeeping book where you just write down everything the old school way. That still works. It works for him. Or if you have some sort of online digital system that you use, like QuickBooks or something similar, an Excel spreadsheet, something, y'all, something. You just can't just rely on your little Square or PayPal monthly budget reports. You cannot do that. It will do a lot more damage than good. And I know this because I'm speaking from experience. It wasn't until maybe 3 years ago, or the year we at 2020, when I moved to Atlanta. That's when I got more, and that's when I reached seven figures first year, right? That was when I got more intentional about what was outgoing versus what was incoming, sorry, which was incoming. I got a lot more intentional about what was going out, where I was putting it, who I had to let go, who I was overpaying. I had a office manager for a few moments, and I realized that money, it was over like $2,100 a month I was paying her for her service. And I'd say that she wasn't worth it, but it was too much for my budget, right? For the value that I was receiving. I knew that I could take that $2,100 and invest it in something that would grow my company and grow me, right? Versus where it was being allocated to. So I say all that to say, to do some evaluations of your money. So that was very good. Also, when I was so another question I asked one of my mentors was, when I was trying to figure out the subtitle for my book, my latest book, which is called Become a High Value Brand and Why You Should, how executives and entrepreneurs leverage personal brand equity to become highly valued, highly referred, and highly paid. I literally just I text one of my mentors 3 different subtitles, because I couldn't, that was the worst thing for me. I could not come up with the subtitle for my book. It was so difficult for me. So I sent him 3, and I was like, which one sounds the best? Right? Which one sounds the best? So instead of him giving me an answer, he kind of came back with a question for me to help me gain clarity. And one of those, and it was 5 questions, but I'll share 2 of them. One of them was, who do you want to become? Right? That was so powerful. Who do you want to become? And of course, my answer to that was that I want, what did I say? I wanted to become the leading authority in personal brand development, right? And then he also asked, what is the message to them? And what did he ask me? Yeah, what was the message that I wanted the reader to get? And that was when I said, well, I want them to know how to leverage their personal brand equity. And I want them to know how to become highly valued, highly referred, highly paid. So it's just these little things and that's the beauty of things like this, mentorship and coaching. It's about asking the right questions. So what Tony Robbins said about the quality of your questions, the quality of your life determines the quality of your questions, is so freaking true. That hit me. So that was like, wow, because here I am just saying, here's 3 subtitles. Which one, right? And he's asking me a question. Ari, who do you want to become? Right? Having me think ahead, having me think further than where we're in this present moment. And that really helped me with how executives and entrepreneurs leverage personal brand equity to become highly valued, highly referred, and highly paid. So I thought that that was super powerful. So I think that's a good question for you guys to ask yourself. Who do you want to become? That was good. That was good for me. And so again, going back to when I was saying about when you have your mentors in your life, they should know you on a personal level. So one question I said, given what you know about my skills and talents, what do you think are the best opportunities I should seek to grow into my next level? Right. So this is important because when you have mentors, obviously they want what's best for you, right? They want you to win, right? They're sending you opportunities, they're checking in on you, they're holding you accountable. You know what I'm saying? Like these are real mentors, these are real coaches, these are real people that we must have in our life. And these are people that really care deeply about us, not just somebody we have in our Rolodex that we have access to, but somebody who really cares about us. And you'll know, especially by the type of opportunities and the type of introductions that they're making on your behalf or to you and for you. So being that my mentors know a lot about my skills or talents. I wanted to know what they thought the best opportunities for me would be, and how do they feel that I can grow into my next level. Now, this was a question that I ask all the time, but the first time I asked this question, I want to give you the answer to this question. This was one of my early mentors. Okay, this was back in 2000, maybe 8 or 9. This was a long time ago, but I still ask my mentors this question to this day, every once in a while, because we grow, right? We evolve, we elevate. But the very first time I asked this question, my mentor said to me to stop trying to save people who don't want to be saved. How many of y'all can relate to that? Trying to save people that don't want to be saved. And that is so crucial. And that goes back to this whole thing when it comes to business, is really targeting and identifying who your ideal person is. Like your ideal person is not the person who has the money to pay you. That's bull crap. That is not your ideal person. Your ideal person is like my mentor, my mentees, like I said. Are the people who show up to my mastermind, the people who keep showing up, the people who execute. You get what I'm saying? The people who put in the work. And I talked about this last week on Tip on This Tuesdays. The people who put in the work, the people who don't waste your time. You know what I'm saying? The people who are hungry. Those are your ideal clients. Those are the people that you want to serve. Those are the people you were put here to serve. And so I love that. And that goes to our personal lives as well. A lot of us, some of us are the first people to go to college in our family. Some of us that are listening here today are the first people to start our own businesses. We're the first ones to go out here and kind of take control of our lives. We're the first ones to go out in our family and ask these quality questions, and so what we want to do is, because we have this growth mindset and this unique desire to succeed, because everybody is not like you. Everybody don't have this. This is why it's so important to keep surrounding yourself with people like that. That's why it's so important to continue to be in these types of rooms that you're in this morning. And you're trying to get the information to your auntie, to your cousin, to your brother, to your, to whoever, your friend, your homegirl, your homeboy, whatever, but they don't want to be saved. They're not there. And so I'm not saying you don't want to disassociate yourself, but let your success and your actions and, in your journey, be the example that will one day hopefully inspire them. But those aren't the people you want to spend your energy on. Those aren't the people you want to give your resources to. You know what I'm saying? You want to tap into those people that are already on the journey of personal development, the people who are already looking to make the changes that that could better this world that you've already made in your life. Those are the people that you want to focus on. And once I did that back in 2009, 2008, 10-ish, that's when I flourished as an individual, as a spirit, as a human being, as a business owner, as a wife, as a mother, as a friend, right? That's when my life changed, because I was now more intentional and putting out energy to those people that were already on the journey of wanting to win. The people who were already hungry. I began to attract those people to me, and my life and my purpose and my impact grew. It became more fulfilling. So hopefully that makes sense. If that makes sense, put it in the chat, y'all. So another question, and I have two more, but this one's really big, is how can I support you? See, because I've been talking for this whole time about how my mentors have served me, or how I have, as a mentor, served my mentees, right? But we have to remember that it's a two-way street. Mentorship is a two-way street. So for me, in order to grow and strengthen my relationships, and I talk about this in my book, Become a High Value Brand. If you don't have that book and haven't read it yet, you definitely need to, because there's a lot of tips on Tip on This Tuesdays in that book. I've dropped so many jewels in that book. You can get it at highvaluebrand.biz, highvaluebrand.biz, right? But I talk about the two-way street of it all, and the giving and the supporting of those that have valuable relationships, right? Valuable relationships. So I always ask my mentors, how can I support you? What can I do? What do you have going on right now? What is your plan for the next year? And how can I be of support? What can I do to assist you, not help, because I'm not Jesus, to assist you, right, to where you want to be or go in your journey? How can I support you? That question right there, I'm telling you, is I talked about this at my last mastermind that I had at the house. It will change the trajectory of the relationship that you have with anybody that you are looking to keep this high value relationship with. How can I support you? And they will tell you, well, you know what I'm working on right now is this. Maybe you have a contact, maybe, or no, I don't need any assistance right now, but this is what I'm working on. And then as you're going on your journey, if you find a book, if you find an article, if you find an opportunity, that can get them closer to where it is they desire to be, I'm telling you, it's a gold mine. And you're sincere about it. And it's authentic, of course, right? It has to be sincere and authentic. It better be sincere and authentic, right? It will go a long way in leveraging a high value relationship. So that's enough. So then my last question is, how did you know you were fulfilling your purpose? You were fulfilling your purpose. I can't speak, y'all. Ooh, y'all hear this coldness in the stuffiness. But how do you know you were fulfilling your purpose? And the answer is something very similar that I always talk about when, of course, you guys don't have conversations with me, but that I always share with my clients and my students at my mastermind is one of my mentors said, when life becomes more peaceful and meaningful. When life becomes more peaceful and meaningful. And I think that's a journey that we're all striving for, to have more peace, to have more purpose, and that our lives be more meaningful. And for me personally, I've been at that place for a long time. Peace in my personal life more than anything, but definitely peace in my entrepreneurial journey, because as you guys know, it's not an easy road. It's not a walk in the park per se, right? It's not this easy process. But when it becomes more peaceful, when you learn how to choose your battles, when you learn how to, brush things off your shoulders, when you learn, what to give attention to and what not to, right? And how to deal with certain things, and, and to maintain the peace that you have built yourself up to, that's when you know that you're fulfilling your purpose. And then meaningful, when you have this energy of your life means something, right? That it means something to other people, to your family. Maybe now you can, buy your mom the house she's always wanted. Maybe you can retire, your father, or even your grandmother, because I know some of us still have grandparents that are still working, whatever that legacy is, when you get to that point where, wow, if somebody needs something and I'm able to provide, whether that be intellect, whether that be tips on this Tuesday, whether that be financial, whether that be opportunity, whether that be a resource, but to have that meaning, knowing that your life is meaningful, I believe that too. I totally agree with what he said about that, is how do you know when you're fulfilling your purpose? So I'm going to end it there. Of course, I have tons and tons more, questions, quality questions that I have asked, over my 25 plus year journey of entrepreneurship, of really, valuing and accumulating such amazing mentors. I advise you guys to seek mentorship, but it's through relationships. It's through relationship. And like I said, it's not always about what you can receive. It's also about what you can give to that relationship as well. So I hope this has been good for you guys. Thank you guys for tapping in and listening. Please share next week as well. I have some flyers roaming around the internet, on your email, in your text message, as well as online. Share, so we can continue to build up those around us. We're us as melanated people, we're not doing it as we should. We want to keep all the information to ourselves, and I don't think that's fair. So that's why I'm here to support you guys on every Tuesday at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys next Tuesday, and have a great rest of your week. And I'm about to go blow my nose and lay down before I get back into this work day. Peace.